Tonight, the stars have aligned for the third annual Boxies, football's most exclusive award show. Legends, icons, and rising superstars have all gathered under one roof for a night where greatness is crowned. This is the pinnacle of prestige in the beautiful game, and such a special event requires a special host. Please welcome to the stage, Mili.
Welcome everyone to the third annual Boxies.
Woo! Vamos. Let's go. We're hyped. The Boxies are here.
The boys are excited, which means it is officially that time of the year where we hand out some of the most prestigious awards in all of world football, the Boxies.
The Boxies are one of the most anticipated events in the BoxtoBox calendar, and this year we decided to do something different. We got the patrons involved in the voting. Mili, explain how that's gonna work.
The last two editions of the Boxies saw Pala, Varvar, Ferms, and myself all have one vote, but this year we decided to add a fifth vote, our patrons.
As always, thank you to our patrons, and if you want to get involved, make sure to join the Patreon. Link is down in the description. But without further ado, Mili, what is the first Boxy?
Boys, the first Boxy of the 24-25 season is none other than Young Player of the Year. Let's see the nominees.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe Bay here, representing for the Boxies, and I've been asked to come online and do the Young Player nominees. Okay, so here we go. Yamal, at just 17 years old, Yamal has already considered himself, thrown himself to be the best player in the world, leading Barcelona to a domestic treble, and you know what? He hasn't been shy. He's let them know that he's about it. Ask Jude Bellingham, it's getting spicy. Well done, Yamal. At 18 years old, you got centre-back. Pau Kubasi was a rock at the back for Barcelona this season. Of course, he's gone on to win La Liga. Well done, well done. Next up, João Neves. Oh my gosh, he terrorized a few of the Premier League teams this season. Joining from Benfica for big money, João Neves most definitely lived up to the hype. He really did his thing, becoming one of the first names on the team sheet for the Champions League finalists, and it's a good start for the Portuguese man. He's doing very well. Well done, João. Then you got Desiree Doué. My goodness, he's been cooking in his first campaign for Paris Saint-Germain, looking to be a bright future star and of course a Ballon d'Or candidate. The League One winners look to have hit the jackpot with this one. Well done, Doué. And then you have Savinho. After a slow start for Manchester City, Savinho, he's actually picked up form for the blue side of Manchester and he's becoming a crucial member. Great skills, great pace. What a young player.
This is quite the stacked list for the first award, Young Player of the Season. I mean, come on. Yamal, Kubarsi at the top here. Those
honorable
are
mentions.
Those are two Barca Dons that
Honorable
are...
mentions.
What?
Yamal and Kubarsi?
I might have misinterpreted what honorable mentions means.
No, but I mean, listen, it's a stacked list, but I had a question to you guys. You guys think that this was a bad year for youngsters? Aside from Yamal, obviously, generational, it makes up for it.
No.
I think this was one of the best years for youngsters. I think football is back.
They definitely carried world football, definitely. But listen, a lot of these guys went deep into the Champions League as well. You have João Neves as well, who is in a CL final as of time of recording. So that is definitely a player that really bursted onto the scene.
We do need to stress this is recorded before the CL final.
Of course.
So we will be posting this on Sunday. Obviously, the CL final is on the next Wednesday. But also as well, like Inter winning a league title still in question.
I don't think that sways anything, though.
Doesn't sway anything for me.
I can give you the answer to that one. It's Napoli. Napoli's winning the Scudetto, but...
Juve fan, by the way. But
exactly.
Yeah, and Desiree Doué. Amazing season as well from him and Savinho. I'm on the Savinho train. These guys don't like the Savinho train as much.
I think he's all right.
Maybe one time.
But Savinho had a decent season.
Doué getting a little bit too much hype.
But
a little bit too much.
I think we all know who the real winner is.
Of course.
It is now time. Let's reveal who has won Young Player of the Year.
So those were the nominees for the Boxies. And the winner of the Young Player of the Season goes to the one and only Barcelona's 17-year-old protege, Lamine Yamal. Well done. Come on now. Hey, make sure you keep on watching the Boxies, man. The best out there. Joe Bayer signing out. Peace.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all.
Obvious.
I voted Yamal.
I voted Yamal.
Yeah, we all
He's the best youngster in the world.
Yeah, Yamal across the board. Even our patrons voted Yamal.
obviously the patrons know ball.
At such a young age, he might be winning multiple Boxies in his first. Actually, no, he won a Boxy last year.
He did.
I think so.
A youngster of the
Very
season
possible.
again?
Need a fact check on that one.
Potentially?
He was involved. He was involved in one of the nominations for Young Player of the Year, but this could be back-to-back wins for Yamal.
Maybe not his only award.
Yamal deservedly wins Young Player of the Year. Desiree Doué gets an honorable second place mention on our Patreon. Gentlemen, the next category is Goalkeeper of the Year.
Thank you, thank you. It is my pleasure to be here and my absolute pleasure to introduce the first Boxy, which will be given to the Goalkeeper of the season. Here are the nominees. Matt Sells started all 37 games, kept 13 clean sheets, and played a key role in Nottingham Forest's European push with over 100 saves and league-leading consistency. David Raya played every league match, notched 13 clean sheets, and was crucial in Arsenal's title challenge, especially in key wins like the 1-0 versus Newcastle. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Despite competition, he starred in PSG's UCL run with vital saves, including 2 penalties versus Liverpool, helping them reach the Champions League final. Jan Sommer. Inter's defensive leader, Sommer impressed in the Serie A and the Champions League, especially during the thrilling 4-3 semi-final win over Barcelona. Alisson Becker. Missed some games but still delivered 10 clean sheets in 27 starts, anchoring Liverpool's defense with several clutch saves. The one thing with goalies is they always get taxed based on the team they play on.
Definitely.
I'm sure if Sells played for, I don't know,
PSG
like
or
a
Inter?
Manchester United, he'd be getting clowned. He wouldn't be getting praised.
Sounds had a good season.
He's a very good
He's a
goalie.
good
I know, but if
goalie.
he was playing for Manchester United,
Conversations?
and probably conversations, he wouldn't be on this list. But all that to say, I mean, all these goalkeepers had amazing seasons. Some won trophies, some might win trophies.
Well, I can promise you one thing though. Raya did not win any trophies.
I have to get
Drum
that
roll,
one in.
please. What is it? Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you,
that ain't
editor
a drum
Ken.
roll,
Thank
brother.
you for
Don't-
editing.
yeah,
Editor
don't
Ken,
put that
please
in.
don't make that cringe.
That ain't
Please
a
don't make
drum
that
roll.
cringe.
But yeah, starting with Sells, I mean, Sells had an amazing season. I do think it's a little bit taxed because of the backline is just so
Yeah,
good, and,
I
and
think
the system just makes it so
Back
that
5 low block tax.
But who would
Aviv.
have thought Nottingham Forest goalkeeper to be nominated here?
Exactly.
I'll give him his credits.
Definitely
How old
deserves
is
a
he?
mention.
Definitely in his 30s.
yeah,
pushing 30 for
I
sure.
mean, he's getting his credit. He's getting his credit late.
Pushing 30.
David Raya, on the other hand, I think, I don't know if I'm gonna say it. Aside from maybe Courtois and Alisson, this is the best shot stopper, third best shot stopper in the world.
Also, we're lying.
Also,
we're just
Donnarumma
lying.
doesn't exist?
You just took away all credibility from the Boxies. We're third year. We worked so hard to get this reputation.
working on our way up.
Of being the oracles of football, and you just destroyed it with one single statement.
Okay, name me a better shot stopper than
Matt
Ryan.
Sells, we just did one.
That sells. I don't know. We got a lot of
Why
nominees
did
on
it
this
take him
list.
to become 30-something years old to get credit, bro? We're playing in a low block 5 back.
Millie, what about the future Inter goalkeeper Donnarumma?
I mean, that's very crazy to say. Very crazy. I hope Donnarumma also on this list. CL final. Varvar with the suspenders. My
Ferms
God.
just got rage baited by a guy in a velvet
got
suit
Donnarumma,
with suspenders on.
I need one more thing from you, Donnarumma. You could become a Milan legend. We'll see what happens on the Champions League
It doesn't
final.
take much to become a Milan legend.
No, it
huh?
doesn't.
That's
Hard as
insane
hell.
work, especially because his opponent in the CL final, Jan Sommer, is on this list. Personally, I think he's had great moments, but overall season, not insane. I wouldn't say he's a front runner in this
He
category.
was injured.
Definitely
Fake-
deserves a
Fake
mention.
fake Interisto.
I think just that game against Yamal or Barcelona in total was just an amazing showing from him, so he deserves to be here.
Definitely. And then lastly, it is Alisson, the Premier League winner. Pretty much business as usual for him this season.
Issue with Alisson is that if he played the whole season, he probably would be, honestly, maybe a winner for this award.
Low-key.
But the issue is, brother was injured. He only played 20-something games
That's
in the
what I-
Prem.
yeah,
I think
that's what I was
26 games,
referencing.
25 games or something like
He
that.
also had that spectacular game. Well, he lost the game, but in the Champions League, one of the best goalkeeper performances we might have watched.
Scoreboard.
in a
Against
good
PSG.
Scoreboard, but
Scoreboard situation.
who got put on the highlight of the
was man of the match.
The box-to-box highlight.
Scoreboard.
He was man of the
Alisson.
match.
Scoreboard.
Some very good shot stoppers on this list. But boys, it is time to reveal the winner of Goalkeeper of the Year.
The Boxy for the goalkeeper of the season is none other than Gianluigi Donnarumma. Donnarumma.
That's kind of crazy.
I voted for him.
I did
Donnarumma.
not vote Donnarumma. I voted for Matt Sells. He's been incredible all season in the Premier League. Anyone who's been watching the Premier League knows Matt Sells has
You got to
been
go for
incredible
someone in the Champions League. I voted for Sommer. That game against Barcelona, to me, like completely switched everything.
I understand,
They're in a final because of him.
But we're talking about 40, 45, 50 game seasons, brother. Donnarumma has been doing it day in, day out for PSG, and he's in a CL final with them. That Arsenal performance, that Liverpool performance, I think that definitely deserves a Boxy in my book.
Early on in the season, though, some PSG fans were calling for Donnarumma's head, saying he needs to be dropped. So
Well, then he got injured, that cleat to the face, and then, I don't know. I think he only played 24 games in League.
But in the CL, I feel like round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, we don't know the final yet, but every single time he's been man of the match at least one of those
Big
two
moments,
games.
he's always showed up. I'll give him that.
That's the thing, is when the lights are bright, that's when people are watching. So based on that, I think Donnarumma's a fair number one.
So Donnarumma has officially received his Boxy Award for Best Goalkeeper of the Year. The next award is Most Improved Player of the Year. Let's see the nominees.
On BoxtoBox, we love to throw around the words rejuvenation of form, and this Boxy will go to the player that was the most improved. Scott McTominay. After leaving Manchester United, who would have thought McTominay would evolve into a true leader for this Napoli side, challenging for the Scudetto as one of the main men on the team? Anthony. Everyone had written him off, but after joining Real Betis, Anthony has found his rhythm, adding more end product and confidence to his dynamic play. Wojciech Szczesny. Called back from retirement, Szczesny slotted into a Barcelona side in dire need of a goalkeeper, commanding the box and bringing calm and reliability to Barcelona's backline. Amad Diallo. Diallo seamlessly transitioned to the first team with flair and fearlessness, becoming a much-needed creative spark who brought fresh energy to every match he played in. Gravenberch. One of the most underrated performers in Arne Slot's team was Gravenberch, who made a big leap in his development, showing maturity, control, and influence in the midfield that had been previously missing.
A lot of Manchester United representation on this list.
But what does that tell you, brother? Not good.
That means that next year we will be back.
That means if they leave Manchester United, they become better.
Manchester United.
McTominay, let's start with Scotty. Manchester United legend in my eyes.
Playing for another team.
Always gave his 100% for the badge, but it was so predictable. Mid player in Premier League goes to City.
It's not about
the
that
best
player.
player in the league. MVP
We're
of the
calling
league.
a guy that was Manchester United's best player last season.
Top scorer at one point.
Top scorer last season.
The Red Devils' finest.
He was mid in the Premier League, and now he's the best.
Yeah, no. McTominay's great. For Napoli, he's been amazing. Honestly, probably the front runner of that Napoli team.
I wouldn't vote for him because I don't think it's that much of an improvement, as I think he was good last season. I don't think he was shit.
I don't know. I think that's a little debated. I don't know. I feel like
We're
Manchester
rewriting
United
history, I guess, at Pal FC.
Oh, I mean, only your top scorer and your probably hardest working player.
But Manchester United fans wanted him out, right?
Well, that's because our fan base is clueless. But once again, when Napoli bought him for 35 mil or whatever it was,
Yeah, a lot of people
everyone said, "Oh my
criticized.
God, that's a terrible deal for Napoli." He ended up being the best player in the league.
I was one of them.
Okay, maybe best
Face
player
when I
on
lie.
the team. Let's,
Lautaro only scored 12 goals this season. You know that, right? Embarrassing from our striker, by the way.
our striker.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the top
12
goals
goals?
in the Champions League and is in a CL
12 goals in
final.
Serie A this season in 31 games.
Has more than
bad.
Leao, by the way.
No way you're comparing Leao to Lautaro.
Wait,
Anyways,
That's the levels of Inter right now.
Vlahovic has more goals than Lautaro this season?
No, this is rage bait.
I swear to God, he has
Never the
12.
rage bait. No,
Because
there's
I
no way.
looked at it yesterday because I was in disbelief, Millie.
Bro, you're getting rage baited by a guy with
You look up
suspenders.
Lautaro
also been
stats on your
injured.
own free time?
Yeah. Well, I'm an Inter fan, you know.
You have a
So I
lot
had to
of
check up, you know.
Yeah, 12 goals, 3 assists, 7.2 rating though. 7.2 rating though.
Oh, we're using the
7.2 rating.
Can you
That
check
means he's been good.
Vlahovic just for fun?
Bro, come on. We know the goals Vlahovic scores, the importance level of them is not
scored
the
a-
same
Enough
as
about
Lautaro.
Vlahovic and all these shit Serie A strikers
why did you
that
bring
would
them
go
up?
would go to Prem and score 3 goals. Let's
Okay.
speak about Anthony, okay?
CL final.
Let's speak about Anthony. Let's do it.
Let's
speak
get
about
away from
Anthony.
all the fucking players and let's go to Anthony.
Anthony, the issue with Anthony in my thinking for this award, didn't have a first half of the season. Basically a useless first half. The second half of the season was amazing. Probably if he kept up that form the whole season, like if he had a first half of the season equal, probably would be looking at winning.
You're
the
saying
award.
as winner, but he's most
deserves
improved.
to be here.
Yeah,
Deserves
okay,
to be
okay.
here.
No, no,
Definitely
no.
deserves to be here.
This is Anthony went from a guy that I thought, like, I was very wrong. A guy that I thought had zero footballing ability.
He was a meme.
Zero. You know how difficult it is to go from the biggest meme in football to just being one of the best players.
He embraced it though, and kind of succeeded now
Or
at Betis.
maybe there's just not enough going on up there. The pressure just didn't hit him.
Or maybe it's Manchester
Definitely
United.
deserves a shout. Definitely deserves a shout this season. But the third nominee is Szczesny, coming out of retirement for Barcelona and decides to win
What is the polar bear doing in our
Yeah, not
a domestic
improved.
treble,
Not
by
improved.
the way.
The fact that he was retired and came back and helped Barcelona for a domestic treble, that's a very improved player to
And
me.
he did not look
How
like a weak
improved?
link.
Last season he wasn't this good. Last season probably better. Last season.
Bro, he was retired. He was done with football. He came back.
played last season.
Yes, but he ended
so
his
bad
career.
that Juve said, "Oh, we need to buy Di Gregorio for 30 mil, right?"
Di Gregorio is actually a good
We actually
goalkeeper.
planned for our future over at Juventus. I don't know about
the
in
future
there.
of ending fifth.
Anyways.
And then, gentlemen, we have the Europa League finalist, Amad Diallo.
Which honestly played quite good
Very
this
good
season.
this season.
Europa
honest-
League final conversation.
I love Ahmad as much as the next man. Pause. But he should not be in. He should be in the award. He definitely should be in the nominees. But I don't think, compared to the top two, at least, I don't think he's had more improvement.
Great player though.
And then rounding out the group with Gravenberch, I mean, very improved player overall. Became very important for Liverpool this season, but
we all counted him out.
Contender for young player of the season in the Prem also. So
Yep.
how old is he?
he's at 22. Yeah, I believe.
Wow.
All right, it is time to reveal the winner of the most improved player of the season, Boxy. Let's see it.
The Boxy for the most improved player goes to McFratima Scott McTominay.
McFradema.
McFratima, I voted McTominay.
I voted McTominay as well.
I voted McTominay as
I voted
well.
for Anthony.
Anthony was a solid shout. I was between
Bro,
McTominay and Anthony.
Patrons
so
also
bad.
said Anthony. Patrons also said Anthony.
Really?
They know ball.
Yeah,
they
so
know
it
ball.
was 3-2. It was 3-2. Anthony deservedly second.
Patreon should get 3 votes.
But McTominay came in and is looking to be a cult hero at this club. You don't see impact like that from players that last year were determined to be surplus to requirements out of club like Manchester United.
Yeah, that is true. It's a
We're
little bit
already-
of a Conte magic as well.
Yes, but
Conor Gallagher's situation in my eyes.
he's way better than Conor Gallagher.
No, I'm just saying underappreciated at the club he was at. He was not bad last season. McTominay was not a bad player.
He was all right, but he's looking to be like in potential. If you have to make a World 11 of this season, he could potentially be in that conversation, be in the center mid position.
No.
Potentially.
Not even
I'm saying
sure.
you bring him up at least.
bring him up.
No, you
Bring
don't.
him up.
No, you
Yes.
Yeah, if they end up winning the Scudetto,
You
Bro.
don't bring him up.
then
We'll see what happens
he deserves to be in that conversation.
Whatever
I'm
happened there.
surprised. I'm surprised Szczesny didn't get a vote.
No.
Coming out of retirement, yes.
Oh, McTominay, Anthony.
I know we have a lot of Barca Glazer cucks in the Discord and the group and the Patreon, but come on.
Respect.
So McFratima, enjoy your shiny new Boxy. The next category, though, is Breakout Player of the Season. Let's see the nominees.
Yes guys, Luca here, and I will be announcing the Breakout Player of the Year awards. And the nominees for this award are Dean Huijsen, the young centre-back who had an amazing campaign with Bournemouth, calm on the ball, composed, and he got that big money move to Real Madrid, where I'm sure he's going to flourish. Miles Lewis-Skelly, the young 18-year-old fullback at Arsenal who debuted at 18, got his first national team call-up as well. Although he wasn't included in the Premier League Young Player of the Season, which is scandalous in my opinion. But he's been incredible for Arsenal, especially in the Champions League. Desiree Doué, the Neymar regen in my opinion. His trickery, his flair and his goal contributions have proved key to PSG this season on a potential treble. Ryan Cherki, who blew up on social media years ago, has finally delivered a consistent run this season for Lyon, showcasing his dribbling and creativity in the final third. And lastly, Marmoush, who started the campaign off so well in Germany and continued his good form coming to the Premier League, going to play for Manchester City. A relentless, dynamic forward who's only going to improve season upon season.
First one on the list. This must be very painful for the Juve fans.
We have so much young talent that, I mean, sometimes they slip through the cracks. It's like Chelsea.
He just went to Real Madrid.
Me trying to find the young talent. Where is this young talent you speak of?
It's all over the world, actually. It's in your league, actually.
Nominated on the Boxies.
Listen, we messed up. We messed up getting rid of Huijsen. We get 6 million to wipe our tears with, but unfortunately, it's not enough. We could have had
6 million buys you what now? Doesn't even buy you Baranakea.
by half Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Huijsen, Juve missed opportunity there. But with Bournemouth, definitely deserves to be on this list. The next one, Lewis Skelly.
Bro, listen, he won't get you won't get the praise of a guy like Doué because he's not scoring goals and he's not flashy. But Skelly has become at such a young age. I don't understand how this guy jumps into Champions League knockout games and is one of the best players in the field.
Okay, I'll say it because no one else has the balls to say it. What the is he doing on this list? This guy played.
He definitely
first of
deserves
all,
to be
didn't
on
even
this
play
list.
the first half of the season.
But Breakout, he broke out.
Second half of the season. Okay, Premier League he was not good. CL he was good. No, he's a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Where was he not good in the Premier League?
Brother, look at everyone else on this. Look at
lied.
everyone
The
else
face
on
when
this
I
list. Everyone else on this
lied.
list was a solid starter and probably team of the season shouts for the entire season. Lewis Skelly is not even a top 3 left back right now in the Prem.
He's youngest on this list,
Bro,
probably.
yeah, but maybe next year you could be on this list.
Yeah,
brother. You,
so he
you didn't even play the first half of the year.
I don't care.
Definitely broke out though, I would say. But there, okay, I get it. There's levels, and I think the next player does show those levels. It is Desiree Doué.
Desiree Doué is not breaking
Brother,
out.
25 GA for a player like that for his first season at PSG. The brother's a starter for PSG now. That's a
last
breakout
season
player.
he was playing.
He was good, but he wasn't this good.
Yeah, but people consider him now like there's Yamal and then there's Doué and then there's everyone else.
Okay, that's crazy.
No,
but
that's
in terms of
crazy.
potential,
young player,
respect Desiree
young player
Doué. but
millions, c'est pas assez.
He played at Rennes the last 2 seasons before this.
And he was great.
And he's played a lot of matches in Ligue 1. So I'm saying a guy like Skelly came from nobody even knowing his name to being a Premier League Champions League starter.
I do think the casual fan didn't know who Desiree Doué was at a certain point until he played for
I agree with
PSG.
that.
And they paid 50 mil for him, I think they paid for him, or 45
Yes.
mil. People raised eyebrows, bro. Like this is
Like, who is this guy,
Yeah,
you know?
who is this guy?
When it's 45 mil, they know who it is.
But yeah, there is also Rayan Cherki from Ligue 1 as well, but it doesn't look like he'll be staying there. But definitely, the next club that he goes to will be a top club.
People have been hyping up Chedki for at least like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, I remember.
And
Been a
this was
minute.
the first year that he went from. I remember his stats always were like 5 goals, 5 assists in Ligue 1 in 30 games. This year he actually hit like player of the season potential in Ligue 1. So
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
a
I think
breakout.
he's definitely player of the season for Ligue 1 at least.
No.
Bro, as a cam, this guy
better
was
than Ousmane
sensational.
Dembele. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Dembele's
What?
kind of.
Better than
Dembele
Ousmane
cam.
Dembele?
No, as a
in
cam.
Oh.
Okay, maybe.
Well, Cherki could play anywhere, but I would assume he's more of a cam. And this guy's had a sensational.
Where does he go?
My
depends.
guess, AC Milan. Seems like such a perfect Milan player.
I would take.
Lazy,
no Europe?
doesn't care.
Rayan Cherki with no Europe.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I think when you have Liverpool like circling around you, like
Is Liverpool in the room with us right now?
They're in the room with Cherki apparently.
And then finally, it is Marmoush, the new city man. But most of that GA that he hit this season was at Frankfurt.
That's fair. It's part of
The
it.
obvious translation to the Prem. It doesn't. 1 goal in the Bundesliga does not equal 1 goal
Give
in the
him more
Premier League.
time,
We have to fix the
man.
golden boot, by the way, because 1 goal in the Bundesliga should not equal 1 goal in the Premier
don't
League.
think it does.
It does. In golden boot, it
well,
does.
Bundesliga does. It's
yeah.
it's a Portuguese league that it's a
Portuguese league,
0.5.
that doesn't
Well,
count.
Gyökeres still might win it.
But the Marmoush Budussi scored a nice goal.
What a goal.
At the weekend.
Bro, he's been scoring goals in the Premier League.
He
Yeah.
has less than 10 goals.
But brother,
Less than 10 goals.
In-
so does your
in
entire
20 games.
So does an entire team.
But Manchester United's not the barometer here.
And he's
But
sharing goals with
was,
Haaland.
He was very goal, and he came out of nowhere. Let's not cap. He did actually come out of literal nowhere. So this is a good candidate for breakout.
This category definitely looks like it'll be close. Boys, let's reveal the winner of the Breakout Player of the Season.
And the winner of the Boxy is Desiree Doué. What a player he is.
deserved. Very happy of this.
I voted for Desiree Doué, I believe.
Of course you did.
3 votes for Desiree Doué,
too, Mili?
Varvar Ferms, and the patrons.
Oh,
Who did you vote for, Mili?
Dean Huijsen, brother.
Not a bad
We're
shout.
talking about a Real Madrid
He better
transfer.
not have. He better not have.
What?
Lewis Skelly. Fucking hell, bro.
Bro,
I'm
look
gonna
at
look
these
back.
names.
I'm looking, bro. I'm looking.
He's
There's
actually
no way
last.
Skelly is
He's
the
last
first
on the list.
Yeah, he might just be.
Bro, that's going from nobody. A breakout to me is from where you started to where you are.
Arsenal fan didn't hear about Lewis Skelly in the academy, by the way.
Okay. Calm it down, gentlemen. We're talking about some the best young talent in the world. All of them, I believe, definitely deserve to be on this list. But boys, we are on to a very, very big category. The next Boxy is Transfer of the Season. Thank you. This Boxy is for the Transfer of the Season, awarded to the player that not only had the biggest impact on their club in his first season, but was a very good value buy. Here are the nominees. Michael Olise to Bayern. Olise had a sensational season, mesmerizing defenders with his technique and creativity. His move to Bayern feels like the perfect next step for one of Europe's most exciting playmakers. Kylian Mbappé to Real Madrid. Mbappé seamlessly transitioned into Real Madrid, quickly becoming the team's focal point and delivering match-winning performances. His leadership and clutch goals solidified his status as the new face of Los Blancos. Kvaratskhelia to PSG. Kvaratskhelia brought his electrifying play to PSG, immediately impacting the team's attacking prowess and helping secure the Liga title. His dynamic presence filled the void left by Mbappé, thrilling fans with his creativity. João Neves to PSG. Neves emerged as a midfield maestro for PSG, showcasing maturity beyond his years and becoming integral to the team's success. His vision and control in the midfield earned him accolades and a soaring market value. Julian Alvarez to Atletico Madrid. Alvarez's inaugural season with Atletico Madrid was marked by his relentless drive and goal-scoring prowess, making him a standout performer with an insane goal catalog.
Wow. These are 5 amazing transfers.
Very good contenders.
I can't cap, but Michael Olise to Bayern. 50 mil for, some are saying the best winger in the world after Lamine Yamal, potentially. And Salah. Like, he's in that tier.
He's definitely up there. He's definitely up there.
Fringe. To put him onto that top shelf.
Don't tell that to Joshua Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich said he's like one of the best players in the world.
But the price tag, 55 million to Bayern.
Bargain.
That is a bargain. Like, I just cannot believe they got a player of that quality. And we saw it in Champions League. This guy against Inter was playing insane. Probably the main man for Bayern this whole season.
So you're telling me instead of getting Douglas Luiz, Premier League
could have gotten
fraud,
Olise.
I could have had Olise.
Yeah. Who says
A lot of teams could have.
Olise. You have to join. Bro, you have to convince him to join first.
Well, we convinced Douglas Luiz to join. And his girlfriend, too.
I mean, listen, Olise arguably could be Bundesliga Player of the Season. I think there's a lot of shouts for that.
I think he is.
No.
I think he is.
I think he won the award.
Did he already win it by this
I don't
time?
know. I'm not sure. Don't quote us on it. It's either Harry Kane or Olise, but I believe Olise won the award.
Definitely deserved. But up next, it is the big fish. It is Mbappé to Real Madrid on a free.
Free.
But, we all know there's an asterisk on the free.
But yeah, Mbappe, I mean,
come on.
Still an amazing first season.
The bar is too high for this guy.
Most goals for a Real Madrid player in his first season ever.
Yeah, and he's still getting criticized apparently.
Yes.
But the issue is that, okay, he broke that record, but it's the significance of those goals that matter, in my opinion, especially for a club of Real Madrid. If you broke that record, but you're scoring in a quarterfinal, semifinal, or potentially even winning the Champions League with Real Madrid, I would say there's more to it. But
like, when we're going to look back at Mbappe's whole stint at Real Madrid, I expect this to be one of the worst seasons. I could
see that. Transition season.
Bro, this is one of his best goal-scoring seasons ever.
You have to understand, Real Madrid, he has 40-something goals this season.
41,
Real Madrid fans would rather 30 goals with a Champions League or a La Liga or something like that, a major trophy, instead of 41
but he's
with
one
nothing.
player.
Of course, but which team doesn't want that? I mean,
Barcelona.
They won 3 trophies this year, but okay.
Domestic trouble.
Mbappe, if Real Madrid did have a better season where they won a trophy, brother, easy. Like, this guy is still one of the best players in the world, if not the best.
You got a guy that went from Liga, and everyone would say, I mean, I'm sure his goals are tagged. He plays in Liga, he plays in Liga. Then he jumped to La Liga, and he's had one of his best goal-scoring seasons to date. So, I mean, listen, the pressure at the beginning was a little bit high, and he wasn't really going up to the task. But now,
and it's his first year.
This is a spectacular transfer, in my opinion. And it wasn't. I mean, there is a lot of money behind it. Like, I know it's free, but there's a lot of money.
But listen, what's crazy is that the next one up is actually a higher transfer fee than both Olise and Mbappe. It is Kvara to PSG, which arguably I think is definitely up there.
Even this one, in my opinion, was a steal.
Steal, 100%.
In January, from a league leader.
60 mil.
Steal.
60 mil.
It was 60? I thought it was like 60.
60, I don't even know, 70.
I think,
Who gives
70
a shit?
Really
It's a
doesn't
steal.
matter. This is one of those transfers that moves the needle so much that now PSG may actually win the Champions League because he is a deciding factor.
He's an X factor.
Yes, he is.
But it sets the bar also for this summer. Like, a club who's going to say, this Kvara transfer never happened, you could justify spending 70 mil on like a Javi Simmons maybe. But now after this, you're like, bro, 70 mil got them Kvara. I can't spend 70 mil on Javi Simmons.
It reset the bar.
Yes.
Definitely reset the bar. But PSG didn't stop there with the transfers, gentlemen. The next one is João Neves, one of the best center mids this season.
Listen,
Amazing.
spectacular midfielder, one of the best young midfielders in the world. But they did spend an absolute bag on the brother.
But once you put into context that they got 60 mil for Ugarte or 50 mil something mil
Yeah.
for Ugarte,
The cash flows.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Like
Yeah,
you
I
say.
mean technically 30. But then when did they buy Ugarte?
they
And
bought
how much
him
did they buy him
from Sporting for
Was
I
it
don't know
40 mil, 50 mil?
I think almost the exact same price that they sold him for.
Okay, so then they spent 90 mil on João Neves. But you can't find a lot of João Neves in the world.
No.
So, I mean, to spend 90 mil for a team like PSG is worth it. Very good player. And
Alvarez.
then rounding it up with Alvarez.
Did you see like the president of Atletico Madrid said there is no like better embodiment of the club than Julian Alvarez.
I honestly
and he's
see
a
it.
player that they're not even thinking about selling.
Honestly, see it.
Well, yeah, well, that shows confidence. It shows that he is the perfect fit for the club. Definitely deserves to be on the list of transfer of the season. Even Scaloni said there's not many players better. He said he may even put him third in the world.
And you
This
can
is
tell,
head coach.
You
But
can,
you're asking
a little bit biased.
Argentina head
Argentina,
coach,
you're
yeah,
asking
it's a
the
bit of
president
bias.
of Atletico, you know?
But we saw how good he was at Man City. So at least now he's doing it as a first team player. And
Remember that goal
honestly,
in the Champions
insane.
League?
Wow.
Outside the box
and
versus Real.
you can tell that his coaches rate him very highly because, bro, look at what I think this is what Atletico Madrid were trying to do with João Felix. Like have him come in and have this kind of effect.
Yeah.
But they got it for cheaper than João Felix and got the same effect. I think we might potentially see an Atletico Madrid like super club remontada coming.
We'll see.
Those are the nominees. It is a stack list, but now it's time to see who won transfer of the season. And the winner for transfer of the season is Kylian Mbappé.
This is
Mbappe.
crazy. This is
Brother,
crazy.
I know you're going to say Olise. I voted for Mbappe, but Olise would be second.
Olise would be
He's on like
third.
$1 million a week. I'm a Real Madrid fan, and I'm telling you, Olise is on a very good wage, and you bought him for
But
50 mil.
You cannot get Mbappe twice in a generation.
Agreed.
You can't. You can't.
You can.
You can't get Yamal.
How much would you spend for Mbappe right now?
150 mil. 120
They're not
mil.
selling, bro. They're not selling him.
350 mil,
Yeah.
400 mil. You mean like a guy like Yamal
he's not the
Bro, this is
reincarnation.
Yamal. Like Yamal's in a different price tier. Mbappe's in the same price tier as like
Can
a
you stop
Haaland.
being so reactionary, brother?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm
Bro,
not.
If I would have told you, you said this after the World Cup final a couple of
Yeah.
years back, you would have said, bro, I would never say.
But
such
we're
a
not
thing."
after the World Cup final. We're right now. We're f***ing
But
Mbappe
he
did not
has
have the
that
best
potential.
season.
He scored 41
Individually,
goals.
he had
He's
a
the
very
best
good
player
season.
in the league.
You don't watch Olise. You've never watched the fucking Bayern
I've never
game.
watched Olise. I've never watched Olise.
You watch Bundesliga. What channel do you watch it on?
Yeah.
What channel?
Olise is insane.
It's on
Olise is
Sports
amazing.
Net.
He is
amazing.
He has done everything in his power to be on this list as one of the best wingers in the world. I don't even think that's
But
a debate.
unfortunately, when you have an
It's not a
Mbappe,
debate, bro. There's no other. There's really
Nobody watches
Who's in the
Olise.
no,
picture,
Olise is
brother?
insane. Olise is insane.
It's very easy to turn on the television and watch Olise. I'm
isn't.
telling you.
It isn't.
It's very easy.
Okay, go watch Bundesliga in
Champions League
Canada.
game.
Yeah.
I'm in Champions League.
I watched them. I watched it too.
The guy cooked.
He wasn't that special.
Olise,
Oh my God, he
Olise
cooked.
against Inter was amazing.
He cooked.
Amazing.
I was scared every time he touched the ball, brother.
Brother, he's like
Please.
at least fourth on this list.
Listen, I didn't vote for Olise, but definitely deserves a shout. I voted Cavada.
Who did the
but
patrons vote for?
Patrons voted.
Who the f*** is voting Cavada, bro?
Brother, he may actually win a Champions League.
Who gives a f***?
Brother, okay, yeah, who gives a f? I don't know. The team that didn't win a single trophy this season, yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't give a f.
You might not win a f***ing trophy, yeah? So
I'll join the boat if we don't win a f***ing trophy. But at least I was closer than you. So basically, winner is
congrats,
Mbappe.
you're a bigger cut than me. Let's go.
Yeah,
aren't
really
you an
held on
Inter
to the
fan?
end versus Tottenham.
Oh,
huh?
well, we were both. Well, I'm like.
Yeah. Anyways, the winner
Cavada,
though,
voting Cavada is crazy.
the winner voted by the patrons is Mbappe. So definitely.
So who do we vote for?
Can I see that? What's the second place from the patrons?
Gotta be Olise.
with 26% of the vote, Cavada to PSG. Third
Wow.
was
Third?
Olise.
Boom!
Third was Olise.
How much percent?
We're looking at 26 for Cavada, 20 for Olise.
Patrons don't know ball.
Patrons no ball.
It's a Champions League tax. But who did we vote for?
Olise is insane.
Who did you vote
I
for?
voted
Pala
Olise.
voted
Olise.
Mbappe, Varvar Olise, Ferms Mbappe, Mili Cavada, patrons Mbappe. So Mbappe would have won anyways.
Horrible shouts. Horrible shouts all around, guys. Congrats. New bar for the channel.
yeah.
Getting rage baited by a guy with suspenders.
So Mbappe, enjoy your new Boxy as transfer of the season. The next category though, not so prestigious. It is flop of the season. Let's see the nominees.
The next category is flop of the season, and this is a player who has had an underwhelming season and fell below every expectation. Here are the nominees. Joao Felix. Despite flashes of talent, Joao Felix struggled finding consistency or a defined role at Chelsea, forcing him on a loan move to Milan, leaving fans questioning his long-term fit at the top level. Douglas Luiz. After much warranted praise last year, Luiz's form at Juventus dipped noticeably, with performances that later relegated him to the bench, leaving fans to wonder. Ronald Araujo. Araujo endured a rocky season filled with costly mistakes and lapses in concentration, falling short of the standards he had set in previous years. Phil Foden. While expectations were sky high, Foden's season felt underwhelming as he struggled to consistently impact games or take the mantle as City's main man. Rasmus Højlund. Often isolated up top and unable to live up to the hype that surrounded this big move.
I mean, starting off with strong contender, but Joao Felix, I mean, it was only 5 million. How much of a flop?
No, you're talking about the Chelsea, because he also had a Chelsea stint.
Double
Did
flop.
back to back.
Yeah. This is a
Only
very
one.
good contender
How
out
much
here.
Chelsea?
Dipped in the award.
Chelsea was like 50 mil. And then he
it
was
was
so
over
bad at
50.
Chelsea that they loaned him out to Milan, which he didn't have a great season
The
either.
brother was so ass at Chelsea that I forgot that was a transfer of last
That was
summer.
this year, yeah.
That's insane. 6 months at Chelsea, 6 months at Milan. Still didn't do enough, honestly, to get off this
Inconsistent
list.
still. Can't find a spot on any team.
Because he's terrible.
He's not a bad player. He just has a mentality issue.
So you
I don't
get him
think
to
so
Juve.
either. I think for Milan, it's not necessarily a mentality issue.
No, it's a
just-
mentality issue.
But why? What would
You
you
could
say?
tell he whines, he flops. Like, that's not a player that will succeed in the future.
I mean,
Talented player, but mentality is not there.
so 5 million worth it or no?
It's whatever. You take your chance with Joao Felix.
All right.
It's a loan, bro. I can't believe you guys are just...
I guess we're just
But,
throwing 5 million in the air.
But when players get too expensive in the summer that you are actually good, then you're going to say, oh, we spent 5 million on Joao Felix. So useless.
Yeah, Sancho Enjoyer, by the way.
Yeah, but
Anyways.
we're not done yet in Serie A, gentlemen. Douglas Luiz to Juventus is also a nominee.
What's weird about Douglas Luiz is I feel like there is still some value to him. Like, it's like Premier League clubs, they just thought like, oh, he was just shit because he didn't work at Juventus, but they would buy him back for 30, 40 million.
I don't know
would.
what happened with him because he was a great player at
I
Aston
think it's
Villa.
going to be. I think this is a Juventus issue. Personally, I think that when he comes back to the Prem, probably this summer,
Bro, 2 managers.
we will 100% see Douglas Luiz be good again. So
I honestly agree with that. I think even Thiago Motta kind of stinted him.
Yeah, but now
Maybe because of
he's
him,
still
but
not playing.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
Clearly, Juventus was just not a good fit for him.
Might be another mentality issue.
Definitely. But third is Araujo as well for Barcelona. Did not have a good season at all. And then even in the CL semis, gets subbed on into scores 2 goals.
He got benched a lot this season.
This is a one for the casuals because people like me, I've been knowing Araujo shit. So, like, this is more for like the Ferms, the Palas, the
See,
Mili.
Varvar only spawns when a player's playing bad, he spawns then. But the other
Back
seasons
then,
where he was
when-
great,
When I was saying Araujo was terrible a year ago, when I said, bro, he's
even
really
when he
not
won the
all
La
that.
Liga,
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah?
You can go back, find the tapes, bro. Find the tapes.
Referring to things that never happened is crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
sure.
Anyway, Phil Foden, bro, like I said, I always knew this guy wasn't good, bro. You could go check the tapes. I've been saying this forever, for the longest period of
Foden's a
time.
great player, but this season so underwhelming. I don't even remember a match from him. Manchester City, he's the main man in Manchester City, and I've never seen him perform.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Was he overperforming in his Premier League Player of the Season
No.
run, or has he just returned to the norm, or is it just a bad season for him?
Just a bad season.
Bad season. I think
he'll
he's
be
a great
back?
player.
Yeah, but the issue is that he came from such a high, and then now where he is, the gap is huge. So it definitely looks worse.
With that Premier League player of the season, we finally got it. Like, we saw his potential, but now it's back to mediocrity. He didn't have a good season, but I think he's a good player.
Milan loan on the way.
He should
says
leave
no.
Manchester City. I'm not gonna cap.
And then finally, the flop of all flops, the shitter of all shitters, Højlund. I mean,
A little harsh.
bro, I don't think anyone rates him.
He deserves to be arrested.
This is after the Europa League final as well. Was one of the worst performances that
I'm
I've
not kidding.
This
Arrest that man.
Arrest
Guy's
that man.
reek. The guy
Arrest that man.
reeks.
He stole 80 million from us. Arrest,
Atalanta stole 80 million from him.
arrest him. I don't give a who stole the 80 million. Someone needs to be put in jail for this.
I think
shit.
it's Manchester United and you for thinking that he was going to be
So,
good.
so that Araujo shout now doesn't work for Højlund though.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, best youngster in the world.
Go parade around celebrating that you thought Højlund was shit. I agree. He's terrible.
But you thought that he was good. You thought he was going to be generational.
I hope he gets life. That's what he needs. That's what this
The
brother needs.
switch up.
I need reparations given to me for the fact that I had to watch this brother for 3 years of my life.
Sounds like a contender to me.
Some very poor seasons across the board, but it is now time to reveal the flop of the season.
And the winner of flop of the season is, of course, Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah. I mean, it was between Foden and Højlund.
It was very close. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
agree.
I'm trying to figure out who voted Foden.
I voted Højlund.
I voted for Højlund.
Ferms voted for Foden.
I voted for Foden.
Which means the patrons also believe that Foden was the flop
That's
of the
crazy.
season.
You went for
Really?
Højlund?
Which is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I think, bro, Foden is a contender,
By
definitely.
an overwhelming margin. 46% of our patrons believe Foden was the flop of the season.
I honestly put this just like to rage bait a little bit because obviously he still scored 10 goals. I mean, I don't really remember those 10 goals. I think he's been pretty bad this season.
Yeah,
but
he has. But the issue with me
Win
with
like
Højlund is that guy ran it back on us this season.
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
so we thought that okay, maybe after the summer, like Højlund might come like a bit better. No, brother was still shit. But then Amorim came in, and Amorim, he's made Gyökeres score 40 goals, 50 goals by the time he subbed.
You gotta do something.
He's got to get some. Nah, my brother, no.
Worse.
Højlund got worse. You understand that he got like for a striker, he has like 10 shots on target this year.
It's really bad. But Varvar, the expectations were set by Manchester United.
The expectations were fuck the expectations.
They were just set by you guys. That's why, as a neutral, I knew he was going to be shit. I didn't
No,
vote
you
for
didn't
him.
think he was going to be this shit.
Brother,
did.
I've been.
No, you didn't.
All three of us have been
Bro,
saying it.
you were never going to be. You don't understand. He's the worst player in Premier League history. You never were going to say that he would be the worst player in
worst
Premier
player
League.
in
He's
Premier
the
League.
Yeah, you're
worst
over
player
it.
in Premier League history.
Bro,
He's
He's
up
the
there.
worst player I've ever watched in the Premier League in my life.
Anyways, the
That's so
expectations for him.
Onuachu is better than him.
Bro,
F***ing get
Wout
any
Weghorst
striker.
was f***ing worse.
Cameron Archer is significantly better than Højlund.
This is crazy, man.
Weghorst was worse.
Significantly.
Is this because of a poor Europa
No.
League final? Like, is this like really?
Millie, do you think that this is
Definitely
because of the Europa League final?
You've
Well, it
been
doesn't
saying
help.
it, but I feel like this is the final nail in the coffin, brother. I don't feel like if you won the Europa League, you wouldn't be this hard on him.
Yes.
I would let him go for free.
Would you pay to let him go?
I'd pay.
Is this like
Yes.
a Sancho situation?
Yes.
You do know there's a bench on the pitch.
I don't care, bro.
I
He's
genuinely
not good
can't
enough for
believe
the
this.
bench.
He's 22 years
He
old
wouldn't
and
start
he's
for the
getting ripped.
U18s. He wouldn't
It's
start.
Manchester United's fault. They're starting a 22-year-old striker who obviously has no experience to play as a striker for a big club.
But he was the highest goal scorer
Yeah,
in
like-
Serie A teenager history.
To me, this was definitely predicted. This is not a flop of the season.
Move on to the next award. This guy's fucking a bum.
So, Højlund, you have officially won the Boxy as flop of the season. The next category, though, is the final individual award. It is Manager of the Season. Let's see the nominees.
The next award goes to Manager of the Year, and this one goes to the manager who has successfully created a culture of winning. Here are the nominees. Hansi Flick won a domestic treble with Barcelona and reached the Champions League semis, revitalizing the squad with youth and earning a contract extension. Simone Inzaghi took Inter to another Champions League final with his sharp tactics and a 3-5-2 system, beating Barcelona in a wild semi-final. Luis Enrique guided PSG to a historic quadruple with a balanced and high-scoring, defensively elite team built on youth and teamwork. Arne Slot led Liverpool to a dominant league title in his first season, transforming their style and energy post-Klopp. Nuno Espirito Santo took Nottingham Forest from relegation fears to a top 6 finish, earning multiple manager awards in a breakout campaign.
I'm gonna be real. When I was voting, I saw this list. I knew who I wanted before I even saw the list. I picked it and then I didn't look at the list.
I think it's a pretty stacked list.
I can understand that.
Pretty stacked list.
The CL final doesn't change anything?
I don't think
okay,
so.
well, we can start. Hansi Flick, very good season. Very good.
Insane season.
Overperformed.
Brother, domestic treble.
Domestic treble is nuts.
He only won the league title by what, like 8 points? 7
Brother,
points?
scoreboard, he won.
Against a generationally bad Madrid team.
Barca fans, don't get rage baited, please.
Yeah, no, don't fall for that.
You're
That's
about
bad.
to get rage baited by a guy in bow tie and
If Barcelona do this again next year, they're not winning the title. Promise you that.
I
We'll
think
see next year.
They'll definitely
How do
bring
you
in
use that to the
reinforcements.
demise?
bro.
Yeah.
But he bought a team that has literally has been a joke since the Messi era has been a joke of just flops and manager problems. And within one summer, with a couple transfers, we made them world class.
Let's not forget, it took a generational game to stop Barcelona from winning that game against Inter. I mean, this team could have went even further, but obviously,
We're acting like he doesn't have the best player in the world on his team.
well,
like
who do you
we're
think is
really-
coaching
we're
him? Who's coaching the best player in the world?
You think that Lamine Yamal would make a difference?
Lamine Yamal stepped up.
Okay.
I think he
And
took a
people
next
like
step.
Rafinha stepped up. People like Pedri became
I'm
even
saying
better.
Flick that got the best out of a guy like Rafinha.
Flick is able to get the best of all these players on this team. I
Okay.
think he's a great
Talking about
contender.
another manager who gets the best out of all the players on the team, Inzaghi.
So
Now,
we
please.
put you, just because you go trophyless, we put you on a list for best managers.
He's current.
Not yet.
As of time of recording, he's trophyless.
Yeah.
As of time of recording.
So the treble's still on.
no trebles on.
No
trebles
treble?
on.
Double is on.
Double is on.
No, there's just
I'm,
treble.
I'm
No,
voting.
double.
I'm voting assuming
Sure.
we win Serie A and Champions League.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm voting assuming we win Serie A and Champions
He
League.
said we, by the way.
That's very optimistic of you. I'm glad you're optimistic, brother.
Billy,
But
Realistic.
Millie, which one do you think you have a better chance of winning?
if I'm honest, I can't say it. I can't say
What?
it.
Which one do you have?
I'm gonna need to look for a piece of wood, something I can knock
You
on.
can knock on your head if you don't have wood.
No. It has to be like mahogany.
But
It has
go.
to be
What
oak.
is it?
Bro, we can win the Serie A, bro. We can win the Serie A.
Clip.
But you're
Sent
assuming that
everyone.
Napoli drop points.
They've done it before.
Yeah, they did it last week, and you dropped points.
I
too.
honestly think this team's good. I think this team is good. I'm not giving up hope yet for both.
This will be, by the way, this is posted after the result of the Serie A.
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you.
You sack Inzaghi if he goes trophyless.
Absolutely. Give him an extension, honestly. Yes, obviously.
Bro, at this beta cuck squad.
It's not a brother. 2 CL finals in 3 years. Okay, yeah, you didn't win it.
Yeah,
You
good job, buddy.
tried.
You didn't win it. 8 titles.
Good job, buddy.
7 or 8 trophies. Okay, yeah. Scudetti has been an issue, but he still won one. He got us
Millie,
our
this
second
is your
star.
era of dominance. If you don't come out of it with trophies,
Oh my
you just
God,
wasted an
that's
era of
such
dominance.
such expectations, brother. You
We're
were
the best team in Italy.
No, the
Juventus
expectations
won
are
9
there.
Juventus won 9 Scudetti in a row, made 2 finals, and lost both of them. Like Inter could go. I think Inter
But
would
you
have a
don't
better
have the
run
f***ing
if we win a
Scudetto
Champions
to
League.
lean back on.
Exactly.
But you shouldn't be leaning back on.
You just
Scudetti.
wasted a year of your dominance.
No.
Well, you didn't win a trophy.
You wasted 9 years of dominance because you only made 2 CLs. You should have made 7 CLs.
But we won
We got
the
him.
we won the Scudetto
You didn't
every
win
season.
Ugats. You didn't win Ugats. You didn't win Ugats.
They won
You
Scudettos.
just got rage bait.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, Inzaghi, I think
And
deserves to
Enrique.
be on this list, but I'm not sure winner. Probably not winner.
All right.
Definitely
Inzaghi's great.
Luis Enrique, listen, I think we all always rated this brother. It's just the beginning of the season, we're like, how does this project, how is it not working?
Yeah.
Someone picked him as their overrated manager. I believe Mili picked him as their overrated manager.
Wasn't me, bro.
It was either
you
Mili or
serious?
Firms.
No,
Don't think so.
I like.
There's no
Luis
way I
Enrique.
picked him over.
Roma legend. Come on.
You did.
No.
Insert clip.
now
find it.
that the clip's over, Millie, we proved that you said that.
Wow.
Crazy work by past the Mili, but this man is still on the path of a trouble. So
Hey, still
Leaguer.
got-
Leaguer.
yes, but he did it.
Gotta
with-
win.
I think the way he did it was a lot better than previous managers.
Yeah.
when
He's
they
up there.
had an Mbappe, Neymar, Messi to rely
Guy
on.
won the Ligue 1 with like 8 games to spare or something.
We're also
Hooked.
we're not gonna act like he didn't pay 90 million for midfielder. He didn't pay 50 million, 70 million, 60 million. Brother, this guy's a €500 million team.
It's cost of doing business.
Inzaghi's doing it with 250 million euro team.
Unai Emery failed to win
yeah,
Ligue
well,
1.
we didn't spend any.
Unai Emery failed to win Ligue 1.
But you're naming the one bum that didn't win it.
Pochettino failed to win Ligue 1.
Conversation.
Those were both bums.
Now Luis Enrique is
And
great.
Slot, I mean, first season in the Prem. Incredible feat.
Gotta be here.
According to
Yeah.
Varvar, he was going to be the first manager to get sacked in the Premier League.
Next one. He's the next
That's
one.
rough. Insert clip.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Insert clip.
It's gonna be inserted. Don't worry.
Ken, don't insert the clip. Make it cringe. But yeah, very, very, very important season for Slot.
Yeah.
Next year when he goes unemployed, he's going to be able to lean back on that.
Seeing this season and then calling
Premier League.
Slot a flop in the future is crazy, bro.
Trent, you'll
You have,
see
to,
how
you
much.
have to get stopped by this crazy PSG team,
He's
or
going
else
to
you would
stack
have.
the Ruben Amorim that got 9 points since
Yeah.
December.
9
It's a
points. I can't
project.
believe it.
It's a project.
And Nuno, European run with Nottingham Forest is crazy
Unbelievable.
achievement.
The form
crazy
has been
achievement.
dropping off. I think they have 10 losses now. I swear, last time I looked, it was like December and they had 2 losses.
Well, I mean,
It's normal, I guess.
second place in the Prem to like 8th place is like very close, so it makes sense.
You
Yeah.
can still make Champions League.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, they're right on 10 losses as a time of recording, but anything could change. This is happening before the final match day of the Premier League, so there's a chance that they even make Europe. So fingers crossed for Nottingham. The fantastic season, that especially by Nuno as well.
100%.
And with that, it is now time to reveal the winner of Manager of the Season.
And the Manager of the Year award goes to none other than Hansi Slick. Hansi Slick. Deserved.
How the fuck did he win Manager of the Year?
I don't know.
Brother,
Domestic
it was
treble.
a clean sweep.
Thank you.
Except you, Luis Enrique.
Bro, how did Luis Enrique not? He's in a CL final. You understand that?
Oh my God, we're rating that now. So why didn't Inzaghi win?
That was my debate. I was between Inzaghi and Luis Enrique. Flick wasn't even part of my thinking.
That's rage
No,
bait.
brother, please. Domestic trouble. You have to understand.
Gotta give the
I'm as
credit
much
where
a
it's
hater as
due.
you.
Luis Enrique is almost about to win the treble with fucking. Like, I
PSG.
care about a Supercopa de España. Like, I care about that.
Okay, Luis Enrique,
the Coupe de France is better.
But that's what I'm talking about. Ligue 1, they both won their league titles. One's in the CL final, one's not.
Which team was more dominant, PSG or Barcelona?
PSG.
Embarrassing.
They went through Liverpool, they went through Arsenal, they went through
City.
Aston Villa, they went through
You can't
City.
decide who you go through.
Exactly. Barcelona played one good team and they lost.
And why is Inter not more dominant
Can you
then?
name me
They-
one
they
good
beat
team that
Bayern.
Barcelona played in CL this year?
Speak.
I-
Inter
They
was
had a-
dominant.
they had a relatively
Bayern,
easy
Champions
draw.
League. I think Champions League Inter
smoked
was a
Bayern.
lot better. Personally, I think Champions
Bro,
League Inter
they
was better.
smoked Bayern. They
Yes.
won every. They
They
every
played Bayern in a
Clasico.
league phase game.
Smoked them. And that's years
They
of.
beat Benfica and Dortmund.
my God, this guy doesn't
Clásicos mean nothing to you.
give the credit where it's due.
Clásicos mean nothing.
Bro, I jinxed Real Madrid. That's the issue.
Yeah, I think we're going to get to that soon. But Hansi Flick, definitely deserved
Robbed.
winner. Why do you say he's
This is
robbed?
honestly one of the biggest robberies on this Boxy. This is an infamous moment.
Nearly all the individual Boxy awards have been given out, but stay tuned till the end so we can crown our MVP of the season. But up next, we are on to the team awards, and the first category is Most Surprising Team of the Year. Let's see the nominees.
Hello fellas. Hello boxers, Box Nation. What up? My name is Adrian Adrian from an old channel called Rabona TV, and I'm honored to present the Boxy for the most surprising team of the season. And so, here are the nominees. Nottingham Forest, from nearly being relegated last season to competing amongst the Premier League's best this season. Forest are back in Europe for the first time since 1996, my friend. Big shout out to Nuno Espirito Santo, or in English, Nuno Holy Spirit. Napoli. With Antonio Conte at the helm, Napoli have surged back up the Serie A table after an abysmal 23-24 campaign. They absolutely surpassed expectations by winning their second Scudetto in 3 years. Real Bologna. Bologna's season will be remembered for breaking a 51-year-old trophy drought with a famous win versus Milan in the Coppa Italia final. A season to remember for the Italian side, even after they lost their coach Thiago Motta, plus Xerxes and Calafiori. And finally, Crystal Palace. Brother, they didn't just snap a slump, these boys won their first ever major trophy. They made history and ensured City went trophyless this season, unless you care about the Community Shield, which, let's be honest, nobody does. Shout out Palace.
This was honestly, looking back at last season where you had the Leverkusens of the world, the Dortmund making a CL final, this is kind of an underwhelming list. I'm not going to cap.
I would say this list is stacked.
The
bro.
year of the
No, I
bogey teams.
disagree, bro.
Bogey teams, exactly.
Last year, like Bologna, who finished what in Serie A right now, by the time we're recording, 7th or 8th? Like, that would never have made last
They
year's
just won
list.
the Coppa Italia.
They won the Coppa Italia!
Their first trophy in 51 years. Yeah, that's a big achievement, brother.
my God!
There's a reason why Crystal Palace is on it, brother. There's a reason.
We won the Coppa Italia!
Yeah, enjoy that, bro.
You
with
need
those-
to hold up your
Ash
mic.
trophy.
Yes, trophy. Then what's the FA Cup?
Yeah, Yee Ash trophy.
So Crystal Palace doesn't.
So Derek Ten Hag's an amazing manager for Manchester United, right?
Better
So,
than them, right?
so
what we're
Arteta
saying.
has won
That's
multiple.
not what we're saying, bro.
How do you go from Bologna
I don't know. He's
to-
trying to rage bait, but it's not working. This is the most surprising teams, and these teams have all surprised us because
But
you
wait,
did
but
not
wait,
think
but wait,
Bologna
Nottingham
would win a
Forest.
Coppa Italia, bro.
Forest, we finished 7th. Nottingham Forest is a very impressive
What
season.
the fuck did they
we
do?
all
No,
had
Nottingham
them
Forest is
relegated.
impressive.
We had them relegated
What did they
in
do?
preseason. We had them relegated. Okay, so what's the name of the award, Millie?
Most surprising team.
Okay, so keep that in mind, okay? So, Nottingham Forest, we had them relegated, and now they're pushing for potentially, before recording, a CL spot.
Okay, and if they finish 10th, then wow, congratulations.
In the Premier League, by the way, not the
Zero-
Serie A.
I think no trophies.
I think even if they finish 10th, it's a very good season
Okay,
for Nottingham
Napoli.
Forest.
Napoli, bro, they're if they win the Scudetto, that is ridiculously surprising when you have
Yes.
stronger teams than them.
Surprising for you guys, maybe. I had them Napoli second. We all remember I had Napoli second.
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Originally.
Insert clip. Insert clip.
It's a Patreon
don't
clip. It's a
insert
Patreon clip.
Don't insert clip, Ken.
Ken, make sure, I'm going to send you the clip, Ken. It's the original prediction, not
Yes.
his updated prediction.
Original prediction, I had Napoli second. You're actually in for one
But-
shocker.
I'll check it out.
Napoli, what a season they've had. People didn't expect them to be this good.
And they
yet-
sold Cavara.
And they sold Cavara.
And got rid of the
and
manager
Conte,
that-
Conte is
And
working
Osimhen.
with Ugats.
And
Bro,
Osimhen.
nothing.
Cavara knows he
And Betis, Conference League final. And it's
good for their standards.
Made placed sixth in La Liga, I believe.
In La Liga, yes.
So,
Decent
good season.
season.
Very good season. I wouldn't say
predicted-
it's in the top two,
I
but
mean,
predicted
Anthony, I
this.
think, really elevated that team
Yes.
as well. Isco was doing well this
As
season,
per.
so I think they had a lot of eyes on them, especially with the good performances. Definitely deserve to be on this list. But gentlemen, it is now time to go to Crystal Palace because
We're just going to skip Bologna like that. I get it.
I mean,
no love for the
Bologna,
Italian.
you want to talk about we spoke about Bologna before, but
I was in Bologna, actually.
Yeah.
I was in Bologna 2 days after they won
And how'd that
the
go?
Coppa Italia. They had already printed the shirts.
Deserved.
they were
Bologna, what a
selling
great
for what,
season.
€5.
No, actually, they're a very nice, very nice brand.
does that matter?
Liquidation.
No,
Liquidation.
Macron.
Macron, yeah.
Macron, the brand, that's their sponsor.
Not even the most well-known Macron, by
They,
the way.
they didn't have
It
my
actually
size.
is.
They didn't have my
It
size.
actually is.
but 51 years, and this is your first trophy. Like, this is a very, very big achievement for a team that was in Serie C not too long ago. So
Very good project going on.
caps off to everyone at the management,
Yep.
all the players,
And then
whatever,
finally,
definitely deserved.
Crystal Palace. I mean, this was a team that was even good at the beginning of the season, just ridiculously underperforming. They deserve to have way more points at the beginning, and they could have been a top 8 team, I'd say.
This is a team that lost Michael Elise in the summer as well. So that's not someone that you just replace super easily.
Yeah.
And they went on and won a domestic trophy, which is massive for them. And the FA Cup's not equal to the Coppa Italia. Let's just outline that before we get to the end. And
Get done, bro. Okay. You get up for
As a
breath, bro.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season, this guy is
Picked it
proving
back
to be
up.
very good.
Glasner ball.
Yep.
So those are the nominees. It is now time to reveal the award for most surprising team of the season.
And the Boxy goes to the Tricky Trees, Nottingham Forest. Congratulations on your Boxy.
deserved winners. Deserved winners. I had voted for Nottingham Forest. My second place is Napoli. I would have accepted Napoli. Every single other one were frauds. on this
First time I agree with Varvar.
Napoli at the
Exact
bottom
same.
of the list for me, bro. Not even at the
Bottom of the list is crazy.
Yo, I have to keep it a buck.
That's why it was a Napoli, because I know you were biased.
What do you mean? Patrons voted Nottingham Forest as well. We were already losing
'cause
to
the
begin
patrons
with.
Who did you put?
But
Up at Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest?
Patrons are just prem
We
fans.
had them relegated. I believe
That's why.
I believe. I'm not. There's someone. I'm just gonna. I think I remember Paula.
Insert clip.
18th in the Premier League. They had.
Insert clip.
I put
Insert
them either
clip.
17th.
17th or
One of those.
close
We
to there.
all were around there.
Yes.
So it's a very good season for them.
Nottingham's
and I-
winning a Scudetto.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking
Yeah, but
about
Nottingham
but we're
Forest, it's
talking
also
about
a team that, like,
But
if you
16th
play
in the
against,
Prem
you're
is equal
scared
to
of.
first in Serie A.
That's, you know how many millions are injected into that Nottingham Forest team to make them
Yeah,
that
they
good?
spent a lot, but
Bro, no shit. You a f***ing team that spends that much money. does well, it's obvious.
so did Ipswich or Brighton, but
because Prem teams just they overspend. So when you get one that actually spends properly, then they become good. Look at Brighton, spent 230 million. Look at their team.
Everyone spent 200. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
get
the
rage
thing.
baited by this guy.
They didn't, because-
not even wearing a bow tie.
Because Brighton spent the most last summer out of any Premier League team.
not even wearing a bow tie.
But bro, when you have as much ball knowledge as me, bro, it's just I don't know.
off the track.
Bro, you
Off the
actually.
rails.
I'm not even kidding. You're dressed like Eric Ten Hag right now. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, I was trying to
we
dress
went-
like
This
Amarim.
We
is a
went
Ten
Tokies,
Hag
huh?
fit
I was
right
trying
now.
to dress like Amarim.
This is a Ten Hag fit right now.
So Nottingham Forest, you could put the Boxy right next to your two Champions Leagues, but the next Boxy, I don't think you're going to want that in your trophy cabinet. It is most disappointing team of the season. Let's see the nominees.
The most disappointing Boxy award is given out to the team that failed to meet all expectations and had a horrible season. Here are the nominees. Manchester United endured a nightmare season, finishing 16th with 17 losses and missing Europe despite a mid-season managerial change. Tottenham Hotspur lost 21 league games but salvaged what little was left of their season with the Europa League win over Man United to reach the Champions League. AC Milan finished 8th and lost the Coppa Italia final, ending a frustrating season without European football. Juventus struggled to win consistently, drawing heavily and relying on defense, leaving their Champions League hopes in jeopardy. Real Madrid lost 11 times and crashed out of the Champions League with defensive injuries and disjointed attacking play leading to a trophyless season. Here are the nominees. We actually had to wait to record because of this award.
I've been waiting for this one.
That Europa League final really moved the
I'm
needle.
not going to say anything here, but those two teams were strong contenders leading into it.
It really depended on that.
Who won the trophy last year for the Boxy of the shittiest team in the world? I think it was Manchester United.
We're going to have to take a look.
Back-to-back winners?
But the first nominee obviously is Manchester United, losing the Europa League final, officially out of every European competition and finishing one position below relegation.
No, above.
What a season. Above. Sorry.
Two, tres.
Do it. Two above relegation. Not a season to remember for Manchester United.
Definitely not.
Back-to-back winners. I don't think anyone else has ever won a back-to-back.
Well, we haven't decided a winner yet, but it's looking likely.
Uncontested winners.
Uncontested.
I'm sure we'll speak about them very soon, but the next nominee is Tottenham Hotspur, which, I mean, after Europa League final kind of bailed them out, but
Saved their season.
currently, they're below Manchester United.
The worst final of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, this was on... Tottenham was involved in two
But
of
if
the worst
Man United
finals.
won, would it
They
have
had
been the
one.
best?
They didn't even have a shot on target, bro.
In the second half.
Still scored.
They didn't have a shot on
Scoreboard,
target.
unfortunately. Lift your Europa League.
My God.
So
Lift it.
So did this Europa League keep Postecoglou's job at Tottenham?
I don't think it deserves.
I find it hard, but
we
maybe.
will.
But
we will see.
Amram would keep that job because it's a project, Mili.
He didn't have a full transfer
You know,
transfer window.
He needs to
and
spend
any-
at least 400 more million and waste 3 years of Manchester United fans' time, and then we'll sack him.
Well, let's bring in Igor Tudor.
9 points since
Stabilize.
December, though.
Hey, gentlemen, keep the comments to yourself because the next team up is Milan. Don't worry, we're gonna get to some teams soon.
We're all getting flamed.
This is definitely a team that deserves at least a combo here. If Milan were in the Prem this year, we would have really been. But they're lucky they hit away in their little
But Ferms-
miniature league.
Bro,
Firms, you know what's crazy is that Milan always had a chance to like. You're
so
never that far off from the point.
Yes, we always flopped at the wrong time and we just fell off.
And let's not forget that Ferms actually made a bet with Pala that Milan would finish higher than Juve this
And I'm going to honor that bet, bro. What do you want
Well,
me to
that
say?
money's gonna go straight to Varvar because
I'm the oracle.
No, we bet FPL.
You know what? Next year we're going to bet Man United is finishing around 10th place. 11th
I'll take
place.
all the bets.
Yeah.
You know what you guys should do? Whoever finishes higher, Milan or Manchester United,
No.
in their respective
Bro, throwing a
standings.
Juventus
They
in
play
there.
they're playing Pisa next year. They're not even playing serious cities, bro.
Bro, they're playing a town with a crooked tower, bro.
Crazy work. Crazy work. That is very tough to say about Milan. I honestly thought Milan, I predicted them to be higher up on the table. I think Champions League spots.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't turn out that way. But the next one is Juventus. We're going back to back in Serie A.
I don't think this is. I think it's disappointing for sure. It deserves to be on the list.
So
but
Millie,
not
what's the name of the category?
Most disappointing team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a failure of a season.
So it's a disappointing season, but they don't deserve to be on this.
Crazy
No,
that
I just insert clip of me 5 seconds ago when I said they definitely deserve to be on this list.
whole lot of editing. God damn.
Yeah, this is-
Free can.
They deserve to be on this list, but definitely not a contender. I mean, listen, we're probably hopefully still gonna make top 4.
Still
That'll
up for
suck because
grabs.
it's gonna come out, and if we don't make
Yeah,
top 4,
we'll see about that.
A lot of money on the line for Milan, and you actually know Milan's out of all.
Oh, we got
money.
nothing. There's no
There's no
money
money,
for
no line.
I actually
Juve-
own with the money here.
Juve money on the line, and finally, it is the Spanish. People thought they were going to be champions. Real Madrid.
The preseason expectations for this lot were crazy.
Yeah. The Galacticos, they
Yes,
called them.
Bro, that A9 skills clip, I remember we watched it in our reaction video.
I think we got clipped too.
Yes, bro. They were speaking as if like the treble was already secured.
Unstoppable. That front three. Unstoppable. I don't know a defense in the world that can stop
streets
that.
are calling them the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But yeah, Real Madrid going trophyless.
Yeah.
Super Cup. Gotta
No.
count the Super Cup.
What Super Cup?
Trophyless.
Barcelona won, my
UEFA
brother.
Super Cup. That they won at the beginning
against
of the
Atalanta.
season. Come on, I'm saving Madridista. Stand up. I'm saving you right now.
Like we don't
Madrid
claim
didn't say
those.
that.
We don't claim those. That's for Inter. That's for the cuckness in you.
Europa League.
You gotta win the
enjoyer, by
Champions
the
League
way.
to be in the
Fan,
UEFA
by
Super
the
Cup,
way.
but sure. I feel like UEFA Super Cup is kind of tough to win, but anyways. But Real Madrid, unfortunately, not this season to remember, but it is now time to reveal the winner of the most disappointing team of the season.
And the winner is... Well, it's not really much of a winner, but Manchester United.
Lifted high and proud,
All right,
Varvar.
let's move on, bro. We all voted Man
Varvar
United.
FC
I'm
once
surprised.
again.
Madrid. What did the patrons vote?
Actually, the patrons had to vote on this before the Europa League final, so they might have
they
actually
knew ball
voted
even
Tottenham.
before the final.
Yeah, it's crazy. Still voted Manchester United.
They saw the vision.
Yeah, they're oracles. Patrons, you are now given the oracle.
But come on, like there's not much to speak about here that
I
hasn't
wonder
been
if they're
said.
three-peat winners.
Back to back.
You let us know in the comments.
Insert all the clips.
No, because the first year we would have done the Boxies, we would have finished third in the Prem. Actually,
Probably still
am I
disappointed.
lying?
You might be lying.
That face when you
We
lie?
need Gustavo to find this.
No, actually, yeah, we would have finished third.
So the Team Boxy Awards have all been given out. We are very close to finding out who the MVP of the season is. But first, we have some Boxies that we want to give out based on our channel and what has happened throughout the year. Gentlemen, the first award is Jinx of the Year. Let's see the nominees.
The Jinx of the Year, Boxy, is given to the person who said one take and the exact opposite happened. Here are the nominees. Varvar's El Clasico Jinx. Varvar wore a Real Madrid jersey every El Clasico, and they lost every time. The curse was real, but so were the memes. Leverkusen versus Bayern. Every BoxtoBox member backed Leverkusen to beat Bayern. Bayern responded by absolutely dismantling them. A collective disaster class in prediction. Liverpool destroy PSG. Varvar boldly claimed Liverpool would destroy PSG. Instead, PSG played them off the pitch. A total football humiliation. Eric Garcia versus Benfica. Varvar and Mili mocked Eric Garcia as soon as he came on. Then he scored in a Barcelona comeback. Timing could not have been worse. Ferms' Dembele shout. Ferms picked Dembele as one of his most overrated footballers in the world. Dembele, from that point on, went on to be the best player in the world, guiding his team to a Champions League final.
Varvar. The Jinx is strong with you.
Bro,
This year was a good year.
Representation over at Varvar FC.
next year, I will not have one of these categories. You heard it here first. Not
That's
one.
Jinx.
Oh,
That's
a
next
Jinx.
year's Jinx of the season.
Jinx. This might be actually in the
Very
Boxy next
possible.
year.
That's
but
crazy.
The El Clasico Jinx, I mean, next year, it'll be like the what is it, the Midas touch? Everything I turn to.
Yeah, it turns into shit for you.
No,
Because
no.
here, you got Madridista telling you, stop wearing that Madrid jersey.
No.
Every single live stream, you wore a Madrid jersey.
No, I don't think
Barcelona
any fan
won.
base claims you.
That's a lie.
I don't
All
think-
three fan bases proudly claim me.
I think the Inter fan base claims you the most out of any.
Right?
Yes.
Right, Mili?
I just checked my Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, by the way. A bunch of Interistas liked my comment on the announcement of our live stream.
Yeah,
because-
sure. If you could prove that they're all Interistos or whatever, yeah, it's all yours. But yeah, then we all said Leverkusen versus Bayern. We thought that they were going to go through, and unfortunately,
Listen,
that did not happen.
Jinx,
Horrendous take.
I don't know, but they had literally just lost. Bayern had lost Leverkusen the week prior.
2-0.
It wasn't a crazy shout.
Wasn't really a crazy shot until
were
you saw
missing words.
the way that Leverkusen lost, and they got pummeled.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Pummeled. So yeah, but then Liverpool destroyed PSG. Varvar, that was a very famous quote by you.
How bad
Unfortunately,
did you say
I
that?
said
6-1.
Liverpool were going to win 6-1.
6-1.
And they got played off the park. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some, you know.
You lose more than you
Did any
win.
of us say PSG?
It's possible.
I think I said PSG.
I think one person said PSG.
I don't remember
It was probably me. I'm just always the oracle in that case.
Yeah. And then the next one, Eric Garcia versus Benfica. Varvar, if you want to give a little intro about it.
Eric Garcia got subbed on, and I said he was absolute dog shit. Millie as well. So
Mili's in this.
Yeah, Millie's included as well, and he ended up scoring the tying goal, and Barcelona ended up winning the game. So
Yeah, that
Thank you,
was a
Eric
very
Garcia.
rough
Benfica.
jinx. That's
Yeah.
a rough jinx, real-time jinx.
yes,
And then finally,
a very
Dembele's
strong
overrated.
contender in the final one, Ferms. You didn't double down, you tripled down.
I quadrupled down just
Yeah.
because we were looking at the stats before. The brother scored like 25 goals after I said this. So the jinx was unreal on this one.
Yeah, he ended up becoming the top goal scorer in 2025 right after.
potential Ballon d'Or winner also.
Yeah.
And Ferms said that Ousmane Dembele was a bum that couldn't. wasn't
Putting
good at
words in
anything.
my mouth, Pala FC, that's the standards over there.
You said he wasn't good at anything.
That is crazy
That's
to say.
actually true. That's what he said.
I did not say
Yeah.
that.
Insert clip.
There's no clip of this.
We watched it.
Let's hand out the first boxy here and find out who the winner of Jinx of the season was.
And the winner is... Come on. My El Clasico jinx. This is robbery.
That's my winner. Varvar El Clásico.
Am I the first BoxtoBox member to ever win a Boxy?
It's very
I
possible.
don't know if this is a box you want to claim.
No.
We claim those.
I know you do.
You might go trophyless, bro. So don't speak to me.
I probably will go trophy.
Going boxy-less is crazy.
That's insane. But
I voted Dembele. Ferms Dembele shout.
I voted for Liverpool versus PSG, but the patrons also voted El Clasico Jinx as their winner. So, Varvar, enjoy that Boxy.
I voted El Clasico, I believe.
I did too.
Okay, so, I mean, next year we won't have the El Clasico jinx because we're gonna probably win every single El Clasico next year, almost.
But
I'm giving myself a bit of leeway, you know.
That's still not enough leeway, brother.
Varvar, did you go into any El Clasico this season saying we might lose this?
No, because
Yeah, that's a fair winner. I think the El Clasico one's good.
A lot has happened on Box to Box, and this is no exception. The next Boxy is worst take of the season. Let's see the nominees.
Any Box-to-Box fan knows that we have a lot of bad takes, but this Boxy will be awarded to the worst Box-to-Box take of the last year. Napoli not making top 6. This Napoli team defied expectations, but definitely defied Mili's expectations by not only making top 6, but also competing for the title against his beloved Inter. Man United to finish in the top 4? Top 4? Man United? These three fine gentlemen thought that Man United was truly cooking after seeing all the new signings. Instead, they finished right above relegation. Pretty bad one. Saliba over Mbappé. When you think of the French national team, the first player that comes to mind is not the French prodigy who won a World Cup at 18 years old and France's top scorer ever, but according to Mili, Saliba? Best left foot in the world. We have been blessed to have watched the best left foot ever, Lionel Messi. However, there is a new left foot in town, and his name is Di Marco. Arne Slot sacked? Was there a moment that Slot was ever remotely close to being sacked this year? Probably not, but Varvar's hot take at the beginning of the season says it all.
Mili, you have a strong presence in this.
I think there's only going to be Paolo and Ferns going to be trophyless. I don't know. We're going to have to see what the votes are. But yes, these were some very horrendous takes.
what makes the Napoli shout even worse is that we did a reprediction.
Yeah, it was
and
in the
he doubled
reprediction.
down.
I put them lower.
He doubled down on the reprediction.
So Napoli was going higher, but Mili kept on putting them lower.
Yeah.
I said, don't wait for that Conte
Second half
drop.
of the year, Conte, you don't know him.
Yeah, you know, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, but unfortunately, that backfired on me, unfortunately. But the next one, Man United, will be top 4. That one, horrendous.
Was all of
airball.
us.
Really, really
Except for
bad.
me.
That's a collective box.
Except for me, I said Manchester United 6th place. I don't know why my vision was clouded. I should have put them
Place, you were just
You're missing
what,
the one.
12,
The cloud
12
must have
spots away?
blocked the one.
I should have said 15th anyway. Saliba over Mbappe, Mili.
Brother,
Mili,
you
Mili.
need
No,
some
I didn't say better. He said more
the face,
important.
no, he said the face of France.
No.
Yes.
And then
Face of France?
yes, you said the face of France is Saliba.
Right
And
at
I
that
was-
moment.
No.
At that moment.
Mili.
Mbappe wasn't
There was
doing
no
good.
moment
The
where Saliba was
copium
the
right
face
now,
of
the
France.
copium right now that I'm hearing is crazy.
The face when you lie.
Yes,
That's
face
what it
when
was.
You lied. That's the
Wait,
moment that gave us that face when you
Did
lied.
he not say that he would rather Saliba
Yes.
than Mbappe? He would rather Saliba. Anyway, listen, I agree. But Di Marco,
Oh, this one's a
Got
contender.
choking on his water.
Especially after Yamal came onto the scene.
Yabba
okay,
dabba do,
but
brother.
you got Mili. Defend yourself, please.
Reality
I'm trying.
check. Okay.
Di Marco, you were a little bit flustered in that moment.
We need
It's-
answers.
Yeah, I got rage baited on that one. Let's just preface that. Got rage baited. Attacking wise, definitely one of the best. Defensive wise, little shaky,
Can't even finish his sentence.
It is what it is. But
Choking on things.
I don't think I was that off.
No, you were very off.
You're very off. DiMarco is not the first person I think of when I think of left
Okay,
feet.
I meant fullbacks, bro. I meant
Flip.
defenders. Come on.
Even that, like I think like
Who?
Kind of Alejandro Balde.
Grimaldo is left foot.
Yeah, Grimaldo.
Whatever floats your boat,
know.
gentlemen. But the last one, Arne Slot to be sacked, according to
That's very
Varvar
strong.
FC.
That is a very strong one.
Pretty bad.
Considering, bro, he won the league right after you. Like,
I don't think that's that bad on this list.
bro, you said he would be the first manager to get sacked, and then he won the league.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough.
The context makes it worse.
Put it like that.
The antonym,
looks
like,
bad.
you know, it's very
First manager
contrasting.
to get sacked.
So a lot of terrible takes there. It is now time to reveal the winner of worst take of the season.
The Boxy for the worst take of the year goes to Varvar, Mili, and Ferms for the Manchester United top 4 shout.
No.
I voted Napoli not top 6.
Oh my
I
god.
forget what I voted. I think I said Slot.
Pala voted United top 4.
I voted DiMarco.
DiMarco, I voted United top 4, and the patrons also voted United top 4. So we all taking a Boxy home.
DiMarco take is so bad.
No, the Napoli not top 6.
That's just
especially because he doubled down. He doubled down on it.
Bro, how did you get away with this?
No limit to the hate.
Well, he's still low-key a Boxy winner because he put United top 4.
Yeah, it's true. We all are.
We all
I
have
haven't won a Boxy yet.
Yeah, good time to be trophyless. I'll say that.
You don't want to lift that in this case.
And now the last Box-to-Box Boxy Award is Moment of the Year. We had a number of insane moments, all because of you guys, the viewers, helping us get to where we are right now. Let's see the nominees.
The next award is the Box-to-Box Moment of the Year, which goes to the most memorable moment that defined our season. Here are the nominees. Winning Best in Social at the Football Content Awards in London. Inter versus Barcelona Champions League semi-final live stream. Reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Our inclusion in Borussia Dortmund's Champions League compilation. Speed reacting to our Champions League predictions.
This list is a little bit personal. I mean, if you're just watching for the first time Box to Box, you probably won't know all of these. But starting off with London, that was pretty crazy to me.
That was a great time.
It was like honestly solidifying ourselves. We're probably the only Canadians there.
Yeah.
That was
We were just happy to be included, and then we actually ended up winning the awards.
Came first and second. We almost came with a double.
and we met a lot of great content creators. We got to see London, which was the first time
Rob
for
did
most
the
of us.
domestic double, in
I
my
mean, a lot of
opinion.
the creators that you see in this video, probably, we met in London.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a very, very happy time for Box to Box, and I'm glad we went and we won, so that was great. The next one, though, Inter versus Barca live
Right
stream.
in our backyard.
That one was at home. That was home field.
Very good.
I
He's just
still
turning
have that in
around,
my mind.
punching the wall.
Mili basically destroyed the room that he built.
Yeah.
That was the greatest game. I think we've had the pleasure of watching while this channel was started. I mean, probably the World Cup game would have been crazy, but we hadn't started the channel.
No, but
This
I
is
mean,
probably the best game.
Because it was Inter.
Yes, but that's just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
That was just an amazing game.
I know, but you don't get Mili twerking, punching walls for Argentina or France.
I was jumping for joy in that game. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
hugging a guy with a wig, a blue wig.
blue
just to
wig,
make it-
face paint.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
And,
No, that
and
was
you
special.
drew your own Inter kit because
Yeah,
I
that
wouldn't
was
give you
nice.
any. I still won't give you any. But yeah, that was a very good moment. Next, hitting 100K on YouTube, boys.
Yes.
Very big
If you
achievement.
haven't already clicked the subscribe button, what a good plug.
Shameless.
Holy plug.
Natural. I'm playing around like Xavi in the middle of the park, scanning everywhere. You know.
Like Declan Rice.
But yeah, we hit 100K on YouTube. It's a massive feat. We also, in our podcast studio, which you guys should subscribe to that also, we have the 100K plaque. So next one's the gold one.
Yeah.
So.
And you guys have helped us through this whole journey, so thanks to you all.
Yep. And then as well, we were included in some notable videos. The first one is included in the Dortmund CL final video.
That was a strange morning. That was a strange morning because I'm listening to the clip. I'm like, is that us saying Dortmund?
A lot of notifications from that.
Sent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it sent to us, and we're like, what do you mean? And we're just
replay that.
listening, and we're right after Jamie Carragher, so it's like, what the f- are they? What is the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
And I think it was you saying Dortmund will not go to the final or something like that.
And I knew what's crazy is that I'm sure we said a lot of stuff in that video, and there was a Dortmund admin that watched probably that whole video.
Crazy, huh?
Which is
Yeah.
insane. I mean, it's a surreal experience to be included in those types of things. And then even more surreal was being in Speed's reaction videos on YouTube. So that was kind of
This is not that massive. I mean, he watches and reacts to a million things a day, but it was cool to see us on Speeds.
I'm not gonna cap. The glaze is crazy. Like the fact that him just watching our video
know.
puts us on this list, but
This
that's
is the last.
that's how big Speed is.
Yeah, this is the last on my list, but it's still an honorable mention.
Goat.
It's time to reveal now the moment of the year. Let's see the winner.
And the winner for Box to Box Moment of the Year is, of course, the Inter versus Barcelona live stream.
Yeah,
I think this is
Most definitely had my vote.
didn't have mine.
Too many iconic moments right after another. Look, 100K was definitely 100K for me personally was my second place. London also a third place.
Bro, you're saying, like, I understand the patrons voting for Inter Barca. That was probably the most laughs that they got out of Box to Box.
Yeah, they
Bro,
voted.
hitting 100K is the smaller feet than an Inter-Barca
That
stream.
Inter-Barca live stream will go down in infamy.
I think we have all different ones then.
Yeah, so Pala had a 100K plaque. Varvar had the Inter-Barca. Ferms had Box-to-Box Awards in London. That was my second.
Yeah, that was
I went wholesome with this because, I mean, that was a crazy experience.
That was my second. And then I voted Inter-Barca, and the patrons voted Inter-Barca as well. So they ended up winning.
I mean, all amazing
All
moments.
good shouts, yeah.
Yeah.
We are now down to the final Boxy Award, and it is MVP of the season. A lot of great players made this list. It is now time to reveal the nominees. And now we are down to the final Boxy. It is the MVP of the season. Here are the nominees. Rafinha. Rafinha delivered a standout campaign filled with flair and determination, stepping up in key moments and proving his value to Barcelona's attack. Ousmane Dembélé. Dembélé was a constant spark for PSG, dazzling with his creativity and becoming one of the most unpredictable threats in European football. Lamine Yamal. Yamal had a generational breakthrough this season, combining maturity, vision, and fearless dribbling to become a star for both club and country. Mohamed Salah. Salah once again led by example, carrying Liverpool with moments of brilliance and reaffirming his place among the game's elite. Kylian Mbappé. Mbappé delivered clutch performances with an abundance of goals, leading Real Madrid with the kind of authority only the real best possess.
Ferms, your MVP of last season doesn't seem to be here, sir.
So, Varvar, did you watch that video?
I think he needs a refresher on that video.
Yeah, I think you do.
Give me a refresher, little chap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MVP was actually Wirtz, but you guys vetoed for some reason.
That was Mili's MVP, Xerxes.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I voted Chala as my personal MVP.
Brother, do your box-to-box research.
It was yours.
It was, but you guys, for some reason, made me choose him.
No, because
Wirtz
we
was
said personal, it
already
has to
an
be
MVP.
personal,
Yeah,
and then you go say
personal.
Wirtz.
What's wrong with Wirtz?
I could have said Bellingham.
Okay, that's your personal. Wirtz was an excellent player.
Pop out.
Anyways,
Not wrong.
Rafinha, great season. Honestly, up there. Was a Ballon d'Or contender for the entire season.
Up until around the semifinals
And then he
of
choked
the
it.
Champions League.
He choked
He
it.
didn't choke it.
And then
He
people
did not
started
choke it.
catching on to the wave of, Rafinha's really only dropping these stats because Yamal is so good.
Okay, no, I don't know about that.
It-
But there was a little bit of a fall off in Rafinha's game. He still scored in the semifinals.
Yeah,
I think
He's
you
still
can credit
amazing.
a lot of those trophies to Rafinha as well. Like, he was a major
Very
contributor.
good player. Just not Yamal.
Oh, he's a contender for the Ballon d'Or, certainly, but
Still a contender, definitely.
even for this boxing.
Next, though, Ousmane Dembélé currently in a CL final. We're going to need to see the result of that final, but I think he's the highest scorer this year in 2025, deserves to be on this.
The man that went from not being good at anything, according to Ferms, to almost winning a box, he is crazy.
I mean, it's undeniable that he switches from Barcelona to PSG and gets better.
And another day, another horrendous take by Ferms FC. Just
Doesn't
another
stop.
day.
He literally won a boxy.
He won two of them today.
Two of them, bro. Bro, you do the double around here.
Just like Jay-Z.
Like this.
And then next, obviously, it is Lamine Yamal, who has taken over the world practically, pretty much, and is now, I think, a lot of people consider him the best player in the world.
I gotta watch what I say because he's still 17, but this brother is different.
Brother, please.
This brother is different.
Brother, please.
And demonetized.
We're trying to make a Boxies video here, brother.
But no, this is the best.
Yamal's amazing.
This is honestly, I'm not even gonna cap, the best player under 20 that we've ever seen in the sport, in my personal opinion. Under, like, still a teenager. In my personal opinion, it is.
What about Højlund at 19?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not a bad take.
But
Not at all.
that's not a bad take.
Okay.
Maybe R9 when he won the Ballon d'Or, but
Yeah, no, Højlund R9, same thing, yeah.
No, he's talking about Yamal.
I'm getting rage baited.
In the velvet suit as well.
In the velvet suit. At least I'm looking good while
And the suspenders?
I'm looking good while getting rage baited, at least, you know?
Yeah, but Yamal, I think
Any girls hit my line.
Yamal?
Yamal CV speaks for itself, in my opinion. Next, though, Premier League's finest, it is Mohamed Salah, Premier League champion, and arguably a lot of people's frontrunners for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, well, those people would be wrong in my opinion. Because
I agree.
You cannot ghost a Champions League 2
Yeah.
games versus PSG. You can't ghost like that. and want to get a Ballon
He
d'Or
was
box.
he was front runner up until like halfway through the season.
Yeah, but that goal session, that's going to be, that's remembered.
I think he
People
has
remember.
1 goal in his last 10 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but Abdul really took it easy, huh?
Yeah, that record-breaking Salah
Yeah.
shivering in his timbers.
He ain't breaking any records right now, unfortunately. And then finally, it is Kylian Mbappé. He was already nominated for transfer of the season, now nominated for MVP of the season.
I don't think he's a strong contender in this group, but definitely respect the season.
And he had 41 goals.
Yeah, that's the problem. Again, it's the 41 goals. What did they result in? And unfortunately, like
What else do you want him to do? Score less?
I understand.
Like, what's the point?
But I mean, the significance of those goals need to happen at the right time.
All right, so no Inter player should be nominated for the Ballon d'Or this year.
Okay, well, Lautaro has
12
8 or 9 goals.
12 goals.
But if you,
in Serie A.
But it resulted,
12
yeah, okay, but it
goals.
resulted in
Yeah.
nothing because you won no trophies. So.
Okay, so if we win a trophy, then it resulted in something. He
Yes.
should be on the list. Okay, cool.
So just
I'm
to get
not,
it
I didn't
straight.
say Lautaro's a Ballon d'Or. Why are you bringing up Lautaro?
Nominee.
41 goals is great. It's like Russell Westbrook. He gets a triple-double, didn't win anything. Didn't win anything.
Would you think Lautaro should get nominated for the Ballon
No.
d'Or next year? Not even a 25th place.
No, why does it matter? If he wins Champions League, sure. If he doesn't, I don't care. Because we didn't win a trophy.
That was a confusing rage bait on my.
too easy. That was a bit too easy.
That wasn't easy.
I didn't even know what I was rage baiting about.
Who's the winner?
But yeah, anyways, MVP of the season, I think maybe 2 or 3 names really is in a different category. So we're going to need to see who has officially won the Boxy for MVP of the season. And the winner for MVP of the season is Lamine Yamal.
Wow. Me personally, I voted Lautaro.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, Yamal.
I'm sure you did.
Went off the board.
Yeah, it was, I mean, come on. Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
This is the best.
Uncontested.
Melly, I just out of curiosity, what percentage of patrons voted for Yamal? It has to be over 90%.
No, 90. Bro, you know how many Madrid fans?
Yeah.
Not a single Madrid fan voted Lamine Yamal.
I gotta say, Madrid fans are kind of understanding.
67.
33.
Still
That
a
was
lot.
close.
You know who took votes away? Dembele, 22%, and Salah, 22%.
That's Yusuf.
So
Yusuf
so a
carrying.
lot of votes were taken. Even Rafinha got 17% of the votes. So a lot of votes taken away
Wow.
from Yamal, but it was unanimous, clean sweep by Lamine Yamal for MVP of the season.
It's so safe giving him a Boxy. This is why we're better than the Ballon d'Or Council.
Agree.
Because we're going to give a Boxy to a guy that's going to go on a career of winning more Boxies. You give it to Rafinha, you just wasted a Ballon d'Or. You just wasted a Boxy.
But I think it's very clear who the best player in the world was this season. And it's not just about goal scoring or assists. It's the ability. And we see it in front of us. Lamine Yamal, there's no other player in the world right now at that level.
People are gonna bring up stats with Yamal, but brother, we all watch these Champions League games. Even when he didn't assist or score a goal, he was the best player on the field.
You need eyes on a guy like Yamal.
Factos.
Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Supercopa, anything. So
Versus
definitely
Inter in that second leg, bro, that guy ran through the pitch for 90 minutes. Nobody could defend him. You had to double, triple team him. He didn't get on the score sheet, but still deserved the praise.
So all the Boxies have officially been awarded, and we could not have done this without our patrons. Literally could not have done this video without you guys. So we want to say thank you to everyone who voted and participated. You guys are the absolute best.
And shout out to all the creators that helped us in this video. The links are down below if you want to check any of their content out. They all make amazing content. We all watch their videos, so shout out to them. And yeah, the
I think that
patrons.
concludes it.
You guys
the
are the goats.
third annual Boxies. We love making the Boxies.
Yeah, these
one
are
of
fun.
one of my favorite videos of the year, and we hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you aren't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Check out our other socials.
And a massive CL final watch along.
Oh yes,
Massive.
Ooh.
very big.
Thank you.
This is all kept in.
By the way,
I can't. I can't. This is brutal. I have to do it at the end. I have to do it at the end.
Vamos. Let's go. Why? What's wrong?
Okay, one more maybe.
Thank you. Can't keep that one in.
So Nottingham Forest, you could put this Boxy right next to your FA Cup, but the next...
Nottingham Forest won the FA Cup. That's news to me, Mili.
Sorry. My bad.
No.
Ken?
They're Champions Leagues, by the way. As many as Juve Champions Leagues, by the way.
Yeah, okay, let me read it.
Okay, well, yeah. Let me redo that.